Welcome to this introductory webcast on design technology in primary schools. This webcast is brought to you by Primary DT and is written and delivered by Laurence Keel and is part of a series of free webcasts to be published over the next 6 months. In this first introductory webcast, we are going to look at some of the challenges that schools face in implementing a quality curriculum in design technology. Over the past 20 years, teaching and learning in primary design technology has been sporadic to say the least. Very few schools have been fortunate enough to have DT experts on their staff or to have staff with a passion for the subject. Where this has existed, the curriculum, teaching and children's learning in design technology has been of high quality. But all too often, schools have provided a curriculum in DT that has been lacking in rigour and has not fully met the requirements of the national curriculum. Or worse, they have not provided children with any experiences of the subject apart from maybe a few cooking lessons. Fortunately, the current Ofsted framework places a greater emphasis on schools providing a wider and broader curriculum. And since the end of the pandemic, schools have begun to develop curriculum provision in design technology accompanied by regular teaching of the subject. But this in itself has created another problem, with teachers trying to fit in another curriculum subject into their already crowded primary school timetable. Having not been taught regularly in many schools for the past couple of decades, very little professional development has been available, and a lack of expertise to deliver such training has resulted in several challenges for schools now wishing to provide an engaging and challenging curriculum in design technology. One of these challenges is teachers not really understanding the nature of the subject and how the subject works. We might call this the disciplinary knowledge, and this is accompanied by a lack of subject knowledge about design technology. When the whole national curriculum was last reviewed in 2014, the idea was to provide a less prescriptive curriculum in order that individual schools could develop a bespoke curriculum that reflected the context of the school and the community where the school was located. In order to achieve this, the plan was that schools would use the expertise of their teaching staff to develop their curriculum. For design technology, as we mentioned earlier, there have been very few subject experts about, and a lack of regular teaching of the subject has meant that schools have found developing their own curriculum in DT has been challenging, to say the least. Another challenge in design technology is that of time. Design technology is one of those curriculum subjects that can be very time consuming in terms of planning and delivering lessons, particularly if the subject knowledge is weak. There is the time taken to research the subject and gain the knowledge needed to effectively teach the content, the time involved to gather together resources and prepare those resources for the lessons, and also the amount of time to teach the lessons can sometimes drag on, and then of course there is also the time after the lessons to clear everything up. Teaching design technology and children learning the practical skills and techniques of the subject can sometimes introduce elements of jeopardy into lessons. We are asking children to use knives to prepare fruit, saws to cut wood, and glue guns to join different materials to each other. Again, this presents another challenge when teaching the subject. Through these series of webcasts, we will address potential hazards and discuss how to plan routines and practices to keep the children healthy and safe whilst learning and reducing the risk. Many of the challenges highlighted in the previous slides result in teachers being out of their comfort zone and being unwilling to teach the subject. Teachers can put off teaching the subject, and often DT is not taught regularly over a period of weeks, which allow children to build their knowledge over time, but instead is pushed back towards the end of the term, where DT is taught in the last week as a day of design technology, where staff are exhausted, teaching and learning is rushed, and the focus is on getting a finished product and not the processes involved in creating the product. And all of this results in diminished learning outcomes for the children. Part of the rationale for developing and delivering this series of webcasts is to change the mindset for teachers about the subject, from teaching design technology because they have to teaching it because they want to teach it. But there is also some good news. Generally, children love the subject. They love the fact that it is a practical subject and is not primarily focused on reading and writing. They love the fact that they are making something that's useful, or that they can take home, or that they can eat at the end of the lesson. And of course, the subject also provides an opportunity for children who may struggle in some of the more academic subjects to shine and demonstrate new skills and aptitudes in the curriculum. So why teach design technology? Well, apart from the fact that it is a statutory subject of the national curriculum that is required to be taught, there are many other reasons to teach design technology listed here. And this list might be a good starting point for a conversation with staff and the development of a rationale for the subject in your school. Combining these with the principles for effective design technology that is covered in Webcast 3 would make a good introductory statement in a curriculum document for design technology.
This ends our first webcast covering some of the challenges of teaching design technology in primary schools. In our next webcast, we will focus on the nature of the subject and the importance of knowledge in design technology and what makes an effective scheme of work. Primary Design Technology is committed to supporting teachers to deliver outstanding teaching and learning in design technology. These webcasts are designed to support teachers and subject leaders with quality professional development in short, bite-sized pieces that can be used individually or as part of a school-wide professional development programme in the subject. A list of planned webcasts can be found on our website. All units of work, product examples, teaching ideas, photos and learning activities featured in our webcasts have been taken from the Primary Design Technology scheme of work. The Primary DT website provides information about the content of over 50 units of work that have been written as part of the Primary Design Technology scheme of work. Each unit is available for immediate digital download from the website and are priced individually at £10. Each unit of work includes medium-term planning, lesson presentation slides, a knowledge organiser and all the digital resources needed to teach the unit. Discount prices are available for schools wishing to buy multiple units of work in order to either create their own scheme of work or to supplement their existing scheme. The Primary DT website also contains many resources and guidance materials that can be downloaded free of charge. Please contact support@primarydt.com if you are interested in booking some bespoke CPD for your school or organisation. This email address can also be used if you have any questions arising from this webcast or you wish to suggest further topics that could be covered by this series of webcasts.